Are you sure we're recording?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Because there's... Can you see that on the screen there?
What?
Well, it's coming up with like system failure, system failure, system failure.
No!
Podcast gets deleted.
Don't even joke, because that did happen.
What do you mean it did happen?
Well, we had those episodes that did not load properly.
Oh, they weren't lost forever though.
They weren't lost forever,
Gosh,
no.
you scared me then, because I was like, have you just not told me?
No, they weren't lost forever, but it was like, I got a panic text from Ariel once being like, because Ariel listens back to the episodes.
Yes.
To like decide how to edit them, but we record on my laptop, so I got a panic text being like, I've just gone to listen to this episode, it's not there, it's all got corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? And I was like, I'm out all day.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I get home, I will check the thing, and it just, our cloud storage just stopped working.
Yeah.
Now we have to do it all manually. I have to download it all onto my laptop. It's really annoying. But it's okay.
It's fine. We persevere, and everything was all right in the end.
Everything was okay in the end. The episodes got out. I think that
Yes.
was like 47 or something.
Gosh knows what. But I'm Ariel.
And I'm Velvet.
And this is the Lost All Caps podcast, as I'm sure you well know by this point.
And oh, gang.
We're very excited today.
Oh, guys.
Because this is the season finale of Series 2. It's my favourite series of the show. And we were discussing this as well. I can't remember if it was last week or just when we were watching the episode.
I think it was last week. Best finale.
Best finale, I think.
Best
finale.
For sure.
And I feel like this episode just takes the cake. Like,
oh my god, just... Oh!
Scream, 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 scream. It's just such good television.
It's
just one of the best hours of
absolute
television
cinema.
ever, I think.
Cinema. It's so good. It's so good. It's...
I want to eat my notebook. We were just discussing how there were moments when we weren't looking at what we were writing, just looking at the screen.
There was one bit, I think it was when we got to like, I think I crashed your plane. It was around there. And my notes get noticeably this bit.
Yeah, less readable.
When we get to the fail-safe bit, my notes get like darker. I was pushing the pencil in really hard. The great thing about these, because we watch the episode right before we record, I always know what I mean. Even when it's like a ridiculous combination of words, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's useful when there's not often do we have a big break between.
We did a bit more earlier on.
Earlier on we did.
We used to like watch it the night before.
Yeah.
Or there was one time we genuinely watched an episode like a few days before because it's the only time we had to watch it. Mm-hmm. And that's bad. That never works. Because then we forget everything about the episode.
The emotions need to be raw when we come on this podcast.
And they're raw. Brother, they're raw.
Fucking raw. Gordon Ramsay would be pointing and prodding his finger at the dish served today because the emotions are raw.
I wonder what Gordon thinks about Lost.
I'm sure he's a fan. So shall we get into it, divas?
Yeah, we don't have time for a Gordon Ramsay tangent. Let's squash that before we start.
I think let's try and go chronologically through the episode.
That's probably the best way to do it.
I think
rather than trying to go by plot lines and flashbacks, it's going to get too complicated. And obviously it all reaches a point.
Yeah, because I think one of the beautiful thing about this episode is the timing of it.
I think the pacing is really clever.
And it's really well constructed, and I really like how it's almost in real time.
Yeah.
With the timer ticking down whilst John and Desmond are trapped in that room. We're watching it all happen.
Cleverly done.
So
and I think,
good! Oh!
Especially, like, we'll get to it when we talk about the ending, but, like, I think it's especially, like a special sort of kudos to them for that ending, because hyping it all up to turning the key and the big white across everything, and then having like 10 minutes left of the episode, they do a really good job of maintaining that, because that feels like a big ending moment.
Yeah, totally.
And to then be able to effectively wrap up the rest of the season whilst maintaining that like excitement Really well done.
Would it not be better if it did end at that point, though?
It would be better, but it could never have ended like that, I don't think.
If it was me writing this episode, I would put the dock scene before the final Desmond flashback, and then I would have all of that, and then the failsafe
I feel
turning.
like key into that final scene...
The Arctic
in
bit.
the Arctic would have been most effective. But I understand why they did it the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because also I think we needed the others reacting and be like, what the fuck was that?
Yes, we did need that. And also, you have to remember that, like, to me, Desmond is the best character.
He's the most important thing in our lives. So, like...
And so all I want to do is watch him. But for a lot of other people, they want to see what Jack's getting up to. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Desmond!
Oh boy, did we get to watch him this episode. So, let's talk about the fact that it's 2 Desmond flashback episodes back to back.
The children are being fed today.
The fact it's actually hilarious that we had to wait till like episode 45 to get a second Claire flashback. But immediately
2
Desmond episodes. And you know what? Needed.
Yeah. Because I think what they like to do is introduce you to a character via the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because I think, without fail, every person's first episode is good.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And, like, I think the best flashback narratives in this season are Echo, Annalisa, and the 2 Desmond ones, right? I mean, there are exceptions, but, like, sort of across the board, to make it more like a rule, I think those are the better ones. So I think it's better when you are, like, being introduced to a character for the first time, and so, of course, they're having fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, we really did need this double-centric episode.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's like the first episode you get Desmond's life, and then the second episode you get the Hatch. And it's almost a Hatch-centric flashback episode, you know? The Hatch is the main character of this episode.
Absolutely. Of the season.
The Hatch is the gag of the season.
Yeah, and it's the perfect conclusion to the Hatch being the
Isn't
overarching...
it so perfect?
It's just so good. I love it so much. The hatchbacks, I'm living for the hatchbacks.
The hatchbacks are amazing. And so, okay, so let's go, stick to our
chronologically.
word, let's go from the beginning. So,
Charlie has a stash of dynamite, question mark.
He does have that earlier on. We do
I don't
see
remember that.
But I don't remember what he could possibly have been blowing up.
Hurley leaves some, doesn't he, when he threatens to blow up the stash? Is it that?
Oh, yes. Maybe Hurley tells Charlie where it is or something. Maybe I'm thinking of Hurley getting the dynamite out. And I'm crossing it over with Charlie's heroin stash.
Yeah, maybe. But presumably it's that same dynamite, because Hurley never set it off, so...
Yeah, and also, like, they haven't gone back to the Black Rock. That would have been
nothing else has
featured.
been blown up, has it, in the series?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I said that I was quite surprised we didn't get an arts flashback just for the sake of that one line. Because you know how much they love to be like, here's one thing you need to remember.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't show him blowing up
previously
just for the line where Charlie says you don't want to end up like Dr. Arts. I love that Echo is just able to carry that dynamite with complete urgency and not blow anyone up.
He's just built different.
After that whole plot line, which was all about wrapping it up and standing 3 feet apart from each other.
He's like, I don't need that.
Don't put it in Kate's backpack, all of that. He just picked it up with his hands and ran to the hatch and everything was fine.
I will carry the dynamite in my own way. He's literally just built different, that's the only explanation.
And this is a fantastically hilarious plan.
Yeah, so he's like, let's blow up the doors.
And then just go in and I'll just start knocking people out. And then do the computer myself.
Yeah. Solid plan. Solid. You can't fault him, really. But then we have, I wrote down, John, it's Charlie, brackets, Desmond twirls the Jesus stick.
He was doing some moves with that thing.
We're going to get, like...
Do you think he was in the baton guy in the army marching?
We're going to get a flashback of him in the front of the thing. In the front of the tattoo that always happens in the middle of the Edinburgh Fringe. Yeah. Despite the fact that the whole city is overrun with tourists, they still do the Edinburgh
Remembrance
tattoo. And he says it'll take an atom bomb to blow the doors open. And ultimately he's right. Like, they don't...
Because they don't blow through the doors.
Blow through the doors. And yes, it seems like, I think... even if he hadn't have opened them up later on, they would have exploded with the big explosion, right? Or implosion, or whatever happens.
Yeah, I think the blast doors still would have come off. I think that's why they're there, right? So that if the computer blows up, it tries to contain it as best it can.
Yeah, I think the reference to atom bomb is significant because of the, like, nuclear radiation in Chernobyl and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think you're right. Maybe the blast doors would try and contain it. But who knows
but
if it would have happened.
We don't know what happened after the explosion. We only know that Charlie's all right.
Yeah, but we're skipping way ahead. Right. So then we get our first flashback of the episode.
Yes.
Which is Desmond faking a lockdown in the past with the 2 wires.
Propping up the door with that box.
Yeah. Which is very much reminiscent of the red toolbox, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one is more sturdy. You know, this one's more effective. Everything is more casual and chill, like, as opposed to lockdown, which was go.
I love how chill it is. I love how it's like he just kind of hops under it and he's like, anyway, let's make some tea.
Did you notice the Dharma Initiative detergents?
I did. I wrote down detergent that glows in the dark, ?
Like it glowed in the dark?
Well, because he was using it to make the paint.
Oh, was he?
I think so. He was mixing something in like a
I thought it was just on the
jug.
table.
I thought he was, because there was like a couple of other things out. I was like, is he mixing glow-in-the-dark paint somehow?
Yeah, that's not really addressed. There are a couple things that aren't addressed, because it's like you think you've got an answer, because it's like, oh, we now know
it,
where
like,
the
tricks you
blast
into
door map.
thinking we've got answers.
Yeah.
And then you go, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Very sneaky of them. So it's like the blast door map was painted by Radzinski and then carried on by Kelvin.
How did they just know where it was? It's a very neat map.
Yeah.
To be painting that completely blind is crazy.
Well, he says, how do you know where you start off from? And he says, slowly. Very slowly. But the thing is, it still doesn't explain where the UV paint came from, why the black lights go on at certain times in a lockdown, but not at other times in a lockdown.
Yeah, because I assumed that then the black lights would turn on and then he'd keep painting, but like, no.
And it also doesn't explain the purpose of the map or what the map is actually showing. Like, we know it's showing the stations, but like, what's all that other business all over it?
Yeah, and why were Kelvin and Radzinski painting it?
Because, like, you know, we now know that they can go out. One person can go out. So why do we need this, like, secret map of the island?
And it's like, it seems like, again, it's like we think we've got the person who has the answers, but actually the person who has the answers is Radzinski, who's dead.
Yeah. So then we find out what happened to Radzinski.
So at this point also I think it's important to know that it's been 2 years.
Yes.
Desmond says, I haven't been outside for 2 years. So we jumped straight into, like, quite close to the crash happening.
Yeah.
Which I think is significant. I think the fact that we don't get him learning how to do the hatch, because we know how the hatch works.
Yeah.
I think is significant. Yes, so Radzinski is dead.
So Kelvin's saying he left the army.
Kelvin does say he joined the Dharma Initiative.
And then joined the Dharma Initiative.
So presumably, so I guess he joined it in the 90s, right after the war ended, or during the war.
Yeah.
He says he had to leave the army because people followed his orders.
Yeah.
Which, well,
what a line.
We've seen what those orders are, so I'm not surprised.
I mean, I think about the fact that Saeed is on the island right now, and like how Kelvin shaped who he became as a person. And now Kelvin's body is just rotting out there on that rock.
Truly, this is like, once again, why we desperately need a Desmond Saeed queen out.
Yes!
I need Desmond to be like, oh, this guy, he was the worst. And
we
for Saeed
need
to
the
be
equivalent. We need the equivalent of the Jack and Sawyer dad scene.
Yeah.
They need to figure it out somehow, please.
And then it's like, but it's not like an emotional resolution. Oh, he said he was proud of you. It's like, I killed the bastard. And Saeed's like, yes! So Kelvin has a disdain for the British Army.
He has some great lines, though. Even though Kelvin, he's not exactly a character I like or enjoy watching. No. I think he's really good in this scene. He has the, like, really devastating line of, I quit because people followed my orders. And also the really devastating line of, I only had 108 minutes to bury the poor bastard. I was like, ooh.
Kelvin says, that Desmond was dishonorably discharged because he couldn't follow orders.
Yeah. So that links into my theory about, like, him being a coward and maybe he deserted and that's
Or
why.
something. Yeah.
But again, he could just be jabbing at him, couldn't he?
He could be, and it could also be that, like, Desmond did something worse and he didn't tell Kelvin.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Could be anything. Could it be any number of things.
Could really, truly be anything. But then I think it's interesting that he then goes, you're not going out, that's an order. I'm like, you just told him that he doesn't follow orders. What makes you think he's going to listen
Chekhov's
to you?
lack of following orders. Foreshadowing. But yeah, I was just like, he's a twat. Let him go outside,
such a
for fuck's
dick.
sake.
He's such a dick. 2 years, he's just been like, nope, I'm going to do it.
Rude. But
I would have
then
killed him much sooner.
you think about how long has he been in there? It's possible.
I guess how long
He's
ago
been
did
in there
Radzinski
for
die?
10 years. Imagine he joins the Dharma Initiative, immediately gets sent down to do the button, and then the Dharma Initiative disbands and he just waits for his replacements forever.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years.
I mean, I would also take the first opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
And also, we don't know how long ago Radzinski died, right?
So how long has he been by himself? Yeah.
He could have been on his own for a lot of that time.
Yeah.
So it's also like, but we know he was a dick beforehand. If this was the only things we knew about him, I'd be like, no, he's reasonable to act that way, because I would also be like mad as hell if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
But we know he's the worst.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So like...
So then we get the belt moment, which I really love.
I love the belt moment. I think there's some great magnet work in this episode. Across the board, really fun.
Truly, it's a Hatch-centric episode and the Magnet is guest starring.
Yeah. I know it's later on in the episode, but when Echo and Charlie are on the floor, and then it's like he looks up and a bunch of knives and darts are flying towards him.
Oh my god, it's like one thing after another.
I would have been like, bloody hell. But the belt is so good.
The belt is just great.
Because also it's like the fact that like things haven't even started breaking yet. But the magnet is already that powerful.
Yeah.
That it just like, and it's the way Echo doesn't even look. He's still looking at Charlie when he throws the belt behind him. Is that a joke?
Oh, it's just so cool. So cool. And it's really like, you know, Echo is our sort of, he's our man of faith, right? You know, he tells all of these stories and anecdotes and he's very like mysterious and important. This is my fate. This is what I'm supposed to do, you know. He's very sort of abstract.
Yeah.
But what he's trying to get at right now is there is a concrete reason why we need to stop them from not pushing the button.
Yeah. It's not just this is what we're meant to do. He's going, Charlie, it's
Charlie, look at me. Okay, look at me. There is a magnet. Stay with me. Big magnet.
Big magnet. My best guess, big magnet.
Yeah. So really loved that shot. And then we get the explosion, right? Like straight away, basically.
So Charlie said bollocks, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Oh,
bollocks. And then explosion and then titles. Great.
I forgot
Great
that they
sequence
did
of events.
actually set off the dynamite.
Yeah, because that's why Charlie goes all deaf. Do you not remember that bit?
Well, yeah, but I thought he just went deaf from the main hatch explosion.
Fair enough.
only remembered him coming back to camp and going, I can't hear anything.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I thought that was from main. I thought they just spent the whole episode outside going, guys,
let us in. It does happen fast, like
early
it's
on.
early on.
And then Echo spends the rest of the episode passed out on the floor.
Oh,
It is so, bless him, when he wakes up and Charlie's like, we gotta go, and he's like,
as if that was all pre-titled.
And so then we're immediately into another hatchback.
Yeah.
And we get some lovely squat action.
It starts off with not quite an eye-opening, but sort of similar to the start of the season, with the gasp and the eyes opening and the blaring of the 1 minute alarm. But Desmond runs in and he actually inputs the numbers quite calmly.
Yeah.
Which is important for later on, the contrast. And then we get his frog squat. His frog air pose.
I have to say, like, this might sound really stupid, but I'm genuinely kind of impressed by the frog squat. Because, like, I don't know if I'm just not flexible, but I don't think I could squat like that. In that tiny gap.
Well, you know what we have to do?
Like,
Oh, you're gonna do it on the chair?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, I heard your knees crack.
But, like, his feet were, like, flat on the floor.
No, they weren't.
And the way he drops down so smoothly into the Spider-Man pose.
You can't have your feet flat on the floor in that position, can you?
I think he did.
I'm not wearing the dress for this.
Yeah, you're not really in the right. And it was only one...
Oh my god.
Like, that's the lowest I can go with my feet flat. It's tough. And also, like, it reminded me of...
The most dignified podcast on air.
It reminded me of them going crazy in the goop early on. You know,
Crazy in
when
the goop?
Jack and Saeed are crawling around, Saeed's going best guess big magnet, and
Yeah.
they come up in the shower.
Yeah.
And it was them, like, crawling around in the dripping.
Mm.
And I was like, it's a throwback.
Crazy in the Goop is the name of my new album, actually.
But so here we have the failsafe.
Yes.
What a fantastic plot point.
Yeah. It does seem slightly convenient.
It is a little bit
It's a
convenient.
little convenient that we've only just found out that there's a key that can actually solve all the problems, actually.
But it's like, what happens if you turn the key?
Yeah.
Shuts it all down to what end?
And it really links in with Desmond's narrative that we've been presented over these 2 episodes of him being like a coward.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you brave enough to
go
see
down
what
there
happens?
And to save everyone.
Yeah. But not knowing what is going to be the result.
Yeah.
Apart from
and if you're even going to survive.
the fact that it seems to work, right? Like, you know, the world is still there.
The island doesn't
Not so
explode.
sure about that, brother. Yeah.
The island doesn't explode, although the ceiling does. The sky goes purple.
Mm-hmm.
But we get some interesting scientific jargon from Kelvin in this scene.
Yeah.
Which actually I totally forgot about. And it gives us a fairly reasonable explanation. And I don't know how much it holds up for someone who understands science.
Mm.
But a fairly reasonable explanation on what the button actually does, right? I wrote down, whatever the incident was, created a leak.
Yeah.
And then we have somatic charge that builds up.
Mm-hmm.
And every button push discharges it.
Yes.
And presumably 108 is the limit it can go to before it needs discharging.
Yeah.
Or it causes a reaction.
Yeah.
And now, I'm happy with that.
Me too, apart from the fact I'm still not entirely clear on how putting some numbers into a keyboard and pressing execute causes a discharge to happen.
Yeah.
Still not 100% on
But I
that
guess it's also, like, you gotta remember it was, like, the 80s. Technology wasn't as good. Like, if it happened now, they'd probably be able to set up an automating system.
It would be 2-factor authentication.
It would be
Just use your biometrics and then, like, it would just do it for you.
But, like, this is back at, like, it's not that long ago that we were putting, like, wires into holes to connect phone calls. You gotta remember, like, the washing machine was invented in the 70s. It wasn't, that's not true. But they weren't commonplace, genuinely. This is, I've recently discovered that our parents lived in the fucking Stone Age as children. Here are some things recently that they've told me they didn't have growing up. Washing machines, tumble dryers, trainers.
What do you mean they didn't have
Microwave.
Toaster.
Yeah.
Toaster.
Supermarkets. Freezer. Literally anything. Like,
okay, I
It's
knew about
trainers that gets
microwave. Trainers is crazy. How can you not
Trainers?
have trainers?
what, only for sports? Until like 1980. You only wore trainers if you were like a professional sports player.
athlete.
Otherwise, dress shoes only.
I wonder if that's why it was like a rule of like don't wear trainers out to like the club. I've never understood that.
That's a thing.
Some clubs don't let you in if you wear trainers.
I know some clubs don't let you in if you're wearing like tracksuit bottoms, which is
Yeah.
also insane. Let me wear what I want.
And trainers. is a thing. So I guess, like, you know,
Bizarre.
maybe that started when, like, you know, nightclubs were a huge boom in, like, the 90s and stuff, weren't they? So...
insane. But what they did have was, like, ABBA. So, like, at the end of the day, it's not that bad.
Did ABBA have a freezer? Yes or no?
Are there any ABBA albums in the hatch?
Do they not need a freezer because they live in Sweden, so everything's cold?
So it doesn't matter.
These are the important questions we need to ask.
I'm pretty sure cling film also wasn't invented yet.
What is cling film made from, to be fair?
Oh no.
Is a bit of a mystery.
Film.
Girls on Film. That's what the song Girls on Film is
Famously,
about.
it's about
the invention
film.
of cling film.
And so, like, the fact that they couldn't come up with a better system is fair.
Hey, maybe. But I like that it doesn't quite make sense, because it keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
And, like, we had question mark where we were like, none of it's real. Oh my god.
And also, like, I think it's really good because it's like, it's clear that Kelvin doesn't really understand either.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's parroting what Radzinski has told him.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we're so many levels removed that no one really knows what it is anymore.
Yeah.
Really
But now we have this...
Sorry, we're going to have to... You can finish your thoughts. I went to the bathroom and realised I had curry sauce on my chin for that whole first So we're going to have to do all that again, I'm afraid. Get back up here.
Brilliant.
I'm sure they can't tell.
They could hear the curry sauce, the listener.
You could smell it. Through the mic.
What I was gonna say before we were so rudely interrupted was, like, we had question mark that was like, the hatch isn't real, none of it's real, and now we have
it's like,
is real.
Here's the explanation.
And it's like, when you know the whole series, you realise that, like, the journey you go on with Henry Gale is like a warm-up for this.
Yeah.
Because, like, think about the balloon, and I was like, gag.
It's real.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Then it's
shit,
like,
it's not
no.
real. Don't you think as well, I forgot to mention last week, Libby's husband wanting to go on, like, a sailing trip, kind of reminiscent of, like, Henry Gale's lie.
Yeah, very true.
Sold my business and I was rich and
Imagine
stupid.
if Libby was married to Henry Gale.
What was your husband's name? Henry Gale.
That would have been a twist.
He left me with the boat and took the hot air balloon instead. That would have been crazy.
That would have been a twist. That'd been really cool.
Twist. That's probably why they mention the name, so that you don't go, ooh, but what if it's this guy?
I think no one else has made that connection.
You never know.
You never know with this show, to be fair. So then we get a great scene between Desmond and John. Can I ask you a question, brother? So he seems to think that, like, John is doing this to look down the barrel of a gun. What does he say?
Look down the barrel of the gun and find out what you really believe.
Hmm.
And John goes, I'll look down the barrel of a gun. Now, this bit does piss me off a little bit.
I know you don't like it.
Because the thing is, John, and it's not the first time he does this, but he does it in this episode. He loves to refer to Boone as a kid.
Mm.
Boone is a fully grown 22-year-old man.
Yeah, but you have to understand why he's saying that, because it's like Boone had his whole life ahead of him. He was very young.
I understand that, and I understand that it's like, you know, this young person died because of me, but also, like, if I was Desmond and John tells me a kid died because of me, I'm picturing 10 and younger.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not the best choice of
I'm
words.
picturing a 6-year-old child that died in a horrible accident because of John.
Yeah.
And I'm opening those blast doors so he doesn't get to me next. But it's like, that's like, how would you feel if we heard someone refer to, like, me or you as a kid?
Well, if they're like 50 years old, then I'd be like, fine. I am a kid in your eyes.
I wouldn't like it. And I just think it conjures the wrong image.
Well, I think you need to, you need to take the wins where you can get them, because he actually feels guilty about Boone's death
I know.
at this moment. So don't be complaining about it.
At least he feels bad, at least he's admitting it's his fault and that he shouldn't have done it and blah, 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 blah.
And the thing that I focused on as well that I wrote down is that he said he died for nothing. He adds that in. He's like, for nothing.
Good. He was not the sacrifice the island demanded. And he did make fun of that earlier, didn't he, in the question mark?
Yeah. And then we get this great bit where he's saying, and on the night he died, I was on top of this hatch, beating my hand bloody, screaming to the heavens, and Desmond's like,
ooh. Oh shit.
Love the little bit of face acting going on there.
So good. I also liked earlier in the scene when Desmond sort of starts to realise he's a bit in over his head, and he hears the explosion from the side, and he's like, your friends just blew up.
Yeah, they might be hurt. And Joel's like, it's a trick. What?
It's a trick?
Diva, have some sense.
How did they fabricate
It's
that?
a trick. What do you
mean?
mean?
To hit the door really hard to make you think there was an explosion. But then also Desmond's like, where's your doctor? Is he around? And I was like, obviously that's a reasonable thing to ask, but I was like, where's the doctor? Could maybe Jack come down here and help us?
Oh no.
Oh no, Jack.
Jack, I seem to have been injured.
No, Jack, I'm concussed. I need help.
32 minutes on the timer.
Ooh.
Ooh. We love to see it.
So then we get gag.
I love how you say it like we haven't had non-stop gags already.
It's a non-stop gag fest.
It's a gag. Because get this, guys. There's a twist in the finale.
But this is a twist.
I mean, this is.
So this is Saeed.
Face crack of the century.
Coco Montre.
Coco Montre smokes in the workroom.
Saeed approaches the camp. It's empty. First of all, every tent is empty. He opens the hatch. It's just a cave.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I just threw a pencil across the room. Where did that go? Face crack of the century.
Face crack of the century. The pencil crack of the century. The lead is all cracked in the pencil.
Pencil went under the washing machine. It was invented in 1976.
Lead crack of the century.
Crazy shit.
I mean, that scene is really good as well because there's like no dialogue. It's just Saeed looking gorgeous, mind you, strutting around.
Wear a gin and sun. He just left them in the boat. Crazy work to be like, I can handle it. There's like 25 of them. He's like, I can handle it. You guys stay
Let
here
me just scale this cliff real quick.
You guys stay here and just throw up invisibly into the water. I'll be back in a minute.
And he's like fully bouldering. I mean, it's because he's a lesbian. Bouldering. Up that cliff. And then, yeah, looking in all these. And the fact that the doors were fake was the bit that really got me.
Because it's like they could have just abandoned their camp. But those doors were not real. They must have, like, broken them off another hatch.
I mean, God knows where they got them from. I noticed that the symbol on this fake hatch was an 8. In the octagon logo, it was like a sort of like square looking 8s, like almost like a computer typeface.
Interesting. And like the fact that this means that like the plan, the conspiracy from the others goes so far that they guarded a door to nothing in front of Michael so he would think it was a hatch and that was where they were keeping Walt.
Yeah, because Michael genuinely didn't know any of this.
Michael didn't know that.
We've seen that. We've seen what Michael's seen.
But Michael did know he wasn't taking them back to the camp.
Yeah. Which begs the question, did he know about the pit? Like, where was he leading them?
I guess they'd shown him where the dock was.
Was he leading them to the dock, do you think?
Or maybe they just said lead them. Maybe they just said, we'll follow you, lead them somewhere.
In nice and out in the open.
Yeah.
Where we can get them with our little
with our tranquilizers.
They were like little tasers.
They were crazy. They were like
Yeah.
making them seize. It was
Yeah.
insane. Where did they get that technology from? I mean, I know tranquilizer dart is like classic, like,
Yeah.
you know, jungle weapon.
But taser dart?
Taser
That's
dart.
like James Bond shit.
Insane. Right, so, okay.
Because so then we get gag.
The pneumatic
Pneumatic
tubes
tube pits.
go into a pit full of notebooks, never opened, never read. The Pearl was the fucking experiment the whole time.
Gag. I'm on the floor.
Hatch crack of the century.
Hatch crack of the century. I'm deceased. I'm like,
I've passed away.
I have expired. I love the pneumatic tube
I
pit.
love when Sawyer finds John's map.
Yes!
And he's like, Kate, look at this.
Love the pneumatic tube pit. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Screaming,
'Cause
crying.
You were really mad about this. The first time we watched the show, Ariel felt crazy about the pneumatic tubes because you were like, why are they not, like, that could be a way to communicate off the island. They could send messages and then maybe they get picked up by the scientists. But here it is. It goes nowhere.
It goes to a literal hole on the same island. It's pointless. It's all pointless. And so what? They were just, the Dharma people were putting people in to see if they would follow these orders and make these observations on their fellow workers.
Crazy work.
Oh!
Crazy work. And I
And
love
the pit,
that,
it
like,
just looks so cool visually.
so good visually. And like,
I just think it's
the
excellent.
fact that in the following hatch scene, it's like cheeky little John explaining the tubes in the Pearl, just in case you've forgotten.
In case you forgot. It would have been better if that came first, maybe? I don't know.
No, because I feel like it's better if you've not seen it to then be like, what the fuck is this? And then you find out.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I feel like I would have seen it coming if he'd like really obviously explained the tubes.
Yeah,
system.
maybe. But, oh, just so good. So good
good.
and so cool. It's like literally the middle of nowhere. And there's just like this big ditch with this like, you know, it's all green. And then there's this like colour contrast and also like technology contrast. Like they've dug this tube. They've gone to the effort of installing pneumatic tubes on an island.
Into the ground.
That literally go nowhere.
To
and
fuck
aren't
with
used.
people.
The Dharma Initiative are fucked up.
They're crazy.
But let's talk about what Kate finds as well.
Yes.
So she undoes one of the notebooks, gag, and she reads 0400. SR moves the ping pong table again. 0415. SR takes a shower. Right? Two things. 1. 4 and 15.
4:15.
2. SR
R.
is R. Radzinski.
Radzinski.
Gag.
Gag.
That means, like, the notebooks, well, it makes sense, right? The notebooks that are on the top of the pile
Are the most recent
recent ones. The end of the Dharma Initiative. That means Radzinski was in there at the end of the Dharma Initiative with Kelvin, right?
And then that was it.
Which meant this experiment in the Pearl was going on right up until the end.
Yeah.
Oh! Truly crazy
Crazy
scenes.
work.
And then we get some more rage from Jack. His face is really turning red in these past two
He's
episodes.
really fucking mad.
Ooh, he's pissed off.
And listen, I would be too.
Yeah.
He's mad as hell. So then we get the smoke, and I love that Saeed uses the black smoke that Danielle did.
Yeah.
He said, I'm taking my girl's smoke signals.
This time, they will know that we are coming.
Sets off the
Except
signal.
they're not coming.
It's
They're immediately
miles away.
tasered.
It's miles away. Gag. And then I love this. Jack turning to Michael going, where are you taking us? And Michael goes like, who, me? Michael's like, what?
Me? Lead, I was following you.
What? I must have taken a wrong
it's
turn back there. I'm sorry.
It is crazy because you think that Jack thinks he knows everything. He thinks he has a plan. He
They've
thinks
got this
he's got
plan.
the upper hand, and it's still Michael's been lying to them. Still, he's like, "I'm sorry, I had no other way." Oh, Michael.
And so I think the others' plan, the others were just loitering outside the camp. I believe this to be true.
What camp?
The main camp.
Okay.
I think when Michael got found, I think they were with him.
But if they would, why couldn't they have just snatched the people? Why did they have to get Michael to bring them to them?
It's all a mind game.
It's all a mind game. That checks out, to be fair.
Because they're following them, and the point of them following them, so when Kate sees them, they were just supposed to follow them to an open space and then tranquilise them.
Yeah, probably. And then we get some whispers as well. We get whispers before the others attack. And I don't know about you, but I thought I could hear them saying the words Michael and kill.
I didn't really hear any distinct words.
I really felt like I heard Michael and kill.
But I'd believe that. But kill could have just been Michael again.
My kill.
Hashtag my kill.
How did we not see it coming? The twist.
Michael. My kill. That's what was going through Alicia's head. She's going, my kill, and she looks up right as he shoots her.
She's doing the Sherlock thing. She's like, my kill.
It was all laid out from the start.
It was all there.
So, and then
Jack yells run, which I liked because it echoed Anna Lucia in the other 48 days when she yells run when they all hear the whispers again.
Beautiful.
I enjoyed.
And then we have, so they've all been tranquilized.
Yeah.
They've all seizured.
Yeah. Jack tries to save Kate, but he can't because he then gets got. Yeah.
I like that. I did like that. They all say run. Sawyer's already down, but Hurley just doesn't run anywhere. He just covers his ears and is like, and then he doesn't get shot.
I guess he does, but we just don't see it.
But I like the idea that they just didn't tranquilize him because they were like, we like this guy.
The Hurley thing, we'll get to it. Okay, we're going chronologically, people. The next scene is a great scene. Desmond freaking the fuck out. That's all I wrote down. Desmond freaking the fuck out.
So John explains to Desmond what the Pearl Station was.
Yeah.
Desmond starts to go, well, what if that was the experiment?
Hold on. Yeah.
Because also, knowing what Desmond knows, how can you possibly doubt that it's real?
I know, but I love that he doubts it still. Even after seeing all of that. Even after experiencing all of that.
Experiencing the system failure.
Every single day he asks himself, what if it's not real? Still. Oh! Excellent.
And it's fantastic. And him going I want to see the film. And John's like, you can't. And John is kind of giving Michael's just listen to me. But in a bit more of a genuine way. John is actually kind of panicking a little bit. But in the sense that he thinks Desmond's going to freak out. He doesn't think it. He still thinks it's not real.
He's still very convinced.
But then we have...
He says, what else was in the thing? Was there a computer? And then they go, yeah. And guess what? Chekhov's printout. Because we all wondered why.
It was
Echo
conveniently
was
in the room.
I'm going to just take this, actually. I'm going to just hold this big stack of paper and take it.
Some reader material for the next
19 minutes.
Because it was 21 at the start of this scene. I remember that. Because I was
there you go.
some time's passed. So it starts with Desmond shaving. And I think actually the shaving is a really fun detail to throw in.
100%.
Because it's he shaved every day for the last 3 years. Oh, you gotta live a little. But the Desmond we know has a beard.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really subtle indicator that his whole his whole routine, his whole world fell apart after this day because he stopped shaving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's when he really slips into a depression, isn't it? And that's when we sort of see in the next flashback what's going on. But yeah.
But what a clever way.
But really, really good device to show us sort of physically the difference in the Desmond then and the Desmond here. And also the Desmond at the start of the show. Because I think he had a beard. Did we start with a beard or did we start with clean shaven?
A bit stubbly.
Because
I think then the idea in terms of the Desmond trajectory, I think, is that after Calvin dies, he goes into this depression, but then he hears John, and then he kind of gets himself back together and into a routine, and then that's where we see him at the beginning of the series.
Yes.
Because that's only a few days later. That's less than a week.
Yeah.
So I think he started shaving again, but then he's gone off onto the boat.
So there's just no way of shaving.
I don't have time to shave. I'm trying to sail a 2-man boat by myself.
Look where he ended up.
But what a clever way to plant the seeds of doubt in Desmond. The rip in the leg.
I literally wrote down, fuck! The slit in the hazmat suit. Fuck! Genius.
So
Genius. Because how long has that been there and Desmond's not noticed?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And it's the fact that it starts with, like, goodbye, Desmond. What?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously that's not the way he normally talks. And I love also that, like, he wasn't planning on leaving that day. So that was just a slip.
Oh, really, really good. Really good scenes. It feels very sort of detective-y, very murder mystery-y.
And, like, to have Desmond, I think it's such a good bit of acting when he pulls that mask down off his face. And it's like he's breathing in fresh air for the first time in 3 years. And you can tell.
Yeah.
And the way he's just looking around, like, so... Like a little kid, like, you know, when you take, like, a little kid to the beach for the first time. And they're just fascinated by it. And he's like... Because he hasn't been outside for 3 years. The last time he went outside was in that storm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like...
Yeah. But also, like... So the sickness...
It's not real.
I'm just circling back. I'm just circling it back. Because, like... So, does Kelvin believe the sickness is part of the psychological manipulation going on in the hatch?
I think Kelvin thinks, whether it's true or not, Kelvin believes that the sickness is an excuse to keep them inside and stop them from running away.
Yeah.
And
But
that they're
he's pretty
quarantined.
confident in that to take his hazmat suit off
Yeah.
when he goes outside.
Which begs the question, did Rudzinski, what did he think about the quarantine?
Yes. It certainly does beg that question. And do they need a hazmat suit? Do they need a quarantine? I mean, we think no, right? Because all of our survivors are out there breathing the air
None
and
of
they're
them have gotten
fine.
sick as in ill as in dead.
Yeah.
But, like...
But what's going on there, Divas?
But,
what's
like,
going on?
we've had lots of different indications towards getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? So, can I just quickly...
Yeah.
When Desmond follows Kelvin to the boat, where the fuck is that?
I know!
Where is the desert biome on the island?
Absolutely fuck-ass location.
Insane! Are you telling me that's just on the same island as the rest of this stuff?
It's great. I love it. Because that setting is so cool and really linked to this confrontation in my mind, because I don't think they ever go back there.
I don't think so.
Because I've also been thinking about the fact that Kelvin's body is just lying there.
Yeah.
Like, Desmond did not bury him in any way. So, like...
Because he presumably obviously went back there to get his boat.
I want there to be, like, a Goodwin moment.
Yeah.
Where we come across
Finds
it.
his dead body.
Yes. That would be really cool.
And it's like, who's this guy?
But I low-key don't think they ever go back there.
I don't think so. Crazy location to just drop.
Yeah.
For that one scene.
Yeah. They must have just found it when they were scouting around Hawaii and like, guys!
We gotta film something cool here.
Yeah. And they do. This scene.
What a fucking bastard, right? Why did you lie to me? I lied because I needed a sucker to keep saving the world after I left.
Evil.
Fuming. Fuming. Such a good scene. It's such a good scene.
Because I also really like how nonchalant he is. It's
Yeah.
not like a big sort of mwahaha. And he even goes like, just come with me.
And it's not
Let's
even,
just go.
And it's not even like you don't understand I was desperate to get out. I've been here for 10
No.
years. It's literally just like, well, I'm going. Do you want to come?
Yeah, because I'm going.
Because I'm going to leave.
Whereas he really doesn't rise to Desmond's energy. Like, the fight, it feels very one-sided. Which I think's really good, because Desmond is understandably, like,
Furious.
yeah, you stole my life, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
And I think he's a very good scream actor.
Oh, very much. He would be good in like horror films. I don't know if he's ever done any. I don't think so.
Not sure.
He would be good in them. I also wrote down that he says, "What else did you lie to me about?" And I was like, it's a nice little clever thing to throw in there, just as an easy out for like any of the stuff Kelvin's told us up till now could just be a lie. Any of the stuff about the sickness, any of the stuff about the discharge and the build up, even the failsafe.
The map.
The
Radzinski.
Any of it could be a complete lie. Just to keep Desmond complacent. I don't think much of it is.
No.
But it's a nice thing to just throw in and be like, but he could be lying.
It's like anytime we heard anything from Henry, we're
It's
like,
like,
well,
he
it
could
could
be
be a
lying.
lie, though.
He could be lying.
He loves to lie. But yeah, just think about the fact that the stain, what's left of Radzinski, as he says, has been there the entire time they've all been in the hatch as well.
Yeah, they don't even know what it is.
Wow. And sort of similarly, Kelvin dies from like this injury on the back of his head, right? And I really liked the contrast when Desmond is then going, like, whispering, oh my God, when he realises what he's done.
I mean, awful, isn't it? Like, I'm not sad, because it's like, by Kelvin, you sucked, but like, terrible to have just done that completely by accident. Like, he's not trying to kill him.
No.
He even, like, he you know, he could have had one, he could have brought one of the guns with him, like, he could, but just a total accident.
Yeah. But are there such things as accidents in this show? Because guess what? If Kelvin hadn't have died,
the plane wouldn't have
never crashed.
But also, I think it speaks to Desmond's character really strongly that when he realises he's killed Kelvin, he steals the failsafe key and he runs back to the hatch. He doesn't take the boat and go.
No. He so easily could.
Goes
it's literally there.
Back to the hatch.
I mean, why is that his instinct? Why does he run back?
Because he's like, Kelvin lied to me, it's all real. Because Kelvin might have been trying to be like, they're just messing with us.
And then one of my favourite scenes of Desmond is this bit where he is sprinting through the jungle.
I'm like, have we ever seen that ramp before?
I don't think so.
When he runs down to the door and opens it, I don't think we've ever seen that.
No, and he's like
before.
Turning that wheel to get it open. You can hear her, the woman on the automated voice, going, system failure, like through the door. And he's like cranking it.
System failure.
And it's like not cranking it in his final moments. He's cranking the door open. And like, I just really love how chaotic this scene is and how much he's running and like how everything is shaking and like, this is where my notes become incomprehensible. So what have I written down? All the
best cowboys.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, they
all
change as well. Did you notice that they change?
No.
So, I don't know what the symbol was before that, but at one point, it's either in this scene or the later scene, I can't remember. But there is one point where, like, Desmond looks up at the timer and the middle one, the like second one along, flips down to a different symbol.
Really?
And I didn't catch what the symbol was before. And obviously I don't know hieroglyphics, so I don't know what it means, but like,
wow,
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That it's almost like this like secret second timer of like, things are really going to go bad now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's pretty mad.
So here we have the plane crashing.
Yeah.
Right?
So what have I...
And how clever to have shown us across these last 2 episodes and like 3 episodes, metal being drawn towards the core,
the magnet, yeah.
And to have even in that scene like there's plates flying around and stuff, and the big metal that was drawn towards the electromagnetic core, the plane. Insane.
Yeah. Truly. I mean, we'll get to the moment, which I believe is one of the best moments in the entire show, but like to find out that like whilst this is happening, Oceanic 815 is in the air over the island, and like that is, the electromagnetism is so powerful, it's drawing it in through the sky.
And also, is this why the plane broke into pieces? Because if the middle part was drawn more towards the core
it kind
than
of
the
like
other pieces.
Snaps. Maybe, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm trying to decipher what I've written. I think I've written down like everywhere all over the screen as he tries to type, and then it goes so quickly. It's the bit where system failure is coming up over and over again on the screen, and like it obscures the numbers that he's putting in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it like gives you such a sense of panic, and then like as soon as it goes, it's like going system failure, wiped.
Completely
Screen
wiped.
empty just for that little cursor.
Timer back to normal.
Oh, just genius. Just like, it just looks incredible. And then you get like a little shot of Desmond and like his hands come to his lips and there's like sweat dripping off his hair. And then it kind of just like, he's just there for a second before we cut back to the present day. Just excellent. Just excellent. And then he's using those same fingers that we've just had a close-up of to scan the paper. The printout.
And John's like, what are you doing? And did you notice the time?
16.
So not only was it, it's 2004, it says 4, but the crash, the first system failure is at 4:16 p.m.
I noticed the 16.
It says like, 2209 04 4:16.
Oh, wow.
System
Excellent.
failure.
Excellent. I love how we've been like, it's been so hard to pin down so many dates in this show, and yet we have the exact time of the plane
minute
crash.
the plane began to crash. And oh my god, how long ago did you crash? I don't know, 65 days.
What was the date? This scene, the dialogue in this scene is just so brilliant. September 22nd, and then that shot where it pans around his head and he says so softly, I think I crashed your plane.
And that's it. It's real. It's real because there's
real.
no disputing it after that.
And as if Desmond is the one responsible for the plane crash.
I know.
Truly the face crack of the century. Like, that is the biggest gag, like, on the whole show. I love it. I love
so
it because
clever.
it's never something that I was like, when are we going to find out why?
Yeah, it's
No.
answered a question that I didn't even know was unanswered because it's like, why did the plane crash? Because of like fate, because they needed to be on the island and it doesn't matter, and because that's
the inciting incident of the show.
I don't care. But like, suddenly you do care because the plane crashed because of the magnets on the island.
Oh my god! Oh my god. So Desmond is the main character. Let's jot that down, first of all, because without him, none of the show would have happened.
Desmond's the reason it all happened.
Yeah. And the arc, the episode arc, like from the pilot of series 1 to the finale of series 2, it's like the crash overrides everything. We've got the overriding arc of the hatch in this series, but you've got the crash going over right from the very, very first.
And just that
moment on screen.
reminder, this is how it happened.
Oh, just genius. Just brilliant.
And like we talked
so
about
good.
like in 3 minutes how we have like 13 days ago now, 3 days ago now. We don't get a date for that. We get it's been 2 years at the beginning of the flashbacks, but there's no like what day it is.
No, you never think that the system failure is September 22nd, do you? Oh, just done so excellently executed, so excellently written, acted.
Executed?
Gag. Twist. It's just so brilliant.
It's so good.
It's so good. That moment is truly like I was jumping off the sofa watching it. Like, it's just one of the most exciting, brilliant moments in the whole show. I was captivated. It's just
so clever, and it all like slots together so perfectly to like, that's it.
Because also,
real.
you're right, we've been teased from the very beginning with this big magnet, and yet it never occurred to me.
Nope.
That would have been the cause of the plane crash.
Not once.
I love this show.
It's so good. It's so good. So then things take a different turn for a little bit. So now we have the dock.
Yeah.
Crazy, first of all, that the dock
There's
exists.
a dock.
There's a dock.
Gag.
On its own.
Yeah. Why is there a dock? I guess the others have a boat, so they have a dock.
So they'd have to dock it somewhere, I suppose.
They built a dock. I wrote down what it said on the sign. There's a sign. The dock has a sign, and on the sign it says Pala Ferry. Pala Ferry. Don't know what that means, but there you go.
Pala Ferry. Ooh, okay. Okay.
You don't see the dock in this scene, though. It's just them, all of our four, gagged and bagged.
Gag.
Gag times 4.
Being put down on the decking.
And I really love the fact that Kate can't resist getting her jab in. Your beard's fake. I know your beard's fake.
But even before that, I was saying was Pickett on the boat earlier.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure when Sawyer gets his bag removed, he kind of like goes for Pickett, right? I'm pretty sure he's trying to say that's the son of a bitch who shot me.
Oh.
Because he definitely said son of a bitch, and it sounded like he said shot, and I was like, is he saying you're the son of a bitch that shot me?
Oh, wow. Okay, so Pickett was on the boat.
Pickett was on the boat. Pickett was the one who shot Sawyer in the arm
There you
and
go,
made him
look
nearly
at
die of
that.
sepsis.
Pickett's been relevant the whole time.
Pickett's been here
Gag.
from the beginning. Gag. I know you're burning. I love it. The pair of them can't resist trying to get one up despite being
Literally.
bound and gagged and on the
Literally.
floor.
So funny.
She says
And
she knows your beard's fake, Tom.
She says she knows your beard's fake, Tom. And then he goes, oh, thank you so much. You don't know how itchy this was. And thank you for telling them my name, B. The others are so funny. Literally, the girls are fighting.
They're literally like, do they take sass lessons alongside their scheming and manipulating?
Definitely.
She says she knows your beard's fake, Tom.
And I think that, you referenced it last week, but I think this is the moment when the actor was reading the script and it was like, she said she knows your beard's fake, Tom, and he's like, I didn't know the beard was fake.
Yeah, I think it might have been actually. Because that's him being like, what?
And I love it later on when Henry comes out and he's like, where's your beard?
Where's your beard?
Oh, I think they know. It's like the first time we ever see like a moment of weakness from that character, of him kind of being like, sorry, boss, you know. He's like,
can we talk about when the
they
boat
know.
approaches?
And who is there?
Henry is in the boat, back against the window,
Back to
arms
the camera,
to the wall,
hand on
posing.
hips, ready to lip sync for his life.
It's like the curtain is raising.
Yeah.
He's posing.
Excellent.
It's so dramatic. It's so needlessly dramatic. He did not need to be posed like that.
It's so good. And then when he turns around and it's Henry, gag.
And he does that, like, evil little smile. Where's your beard? I think they know. And that's interesting as well. Because, like, Henry appears to have some authority over Tom
Definitely.
in this moment, over Mr. Friendly.
I would say it doesn't seem like Miss Clue is taking orders directly from him, but it does seem that she kind of like turns to him when he arrives. So I would say he might even outrank Miss Clue.
He carries himself with a lot of power in this scene.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really fantastic, it's a huge testament to Michael Emerson as an actor. It's a really fantastic transformation from like the Henry Gale we know.
Yeah.
Who was all like, you know, weak and sad and this like pathetic old man who's being beaten up, to like there was these moments of sinisterness that would slip through with him, and that was what was so fabulous about Henry Gale.
Yeah.
And now we have this version where it's like he's not pretending anymore, you know, back straight, eye contact.
Yeah.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
You know, he knows he's the shit, he knows what he's doing, and he knows that he's in charge, and that he is, you know, above Jack and Kate and Sawyer. Jack, who kept him locked up for 10 days. I'm the captain now.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And it really is a testament to Michael Emerson as an actor, because we have found out that, like, this wasn't the original plan for Henry Gale.
No, so Henry Gale, was he originally going to be telling the truth?
I'm not sure about that, but he might have been originally supposed to be telling the truth, but I think he was supposed to die either in the cell or by the end of the series, or he was supposed to just be an underling, basically.
But he
Within
was
the
such
others.
a good actor.
But they loved having him so much on set and were like, no, you're incredible. We're giving you a bigger part.
that they gave this to him.
And I think
think
that's
that, first of all, what an ego boost, right?
Yeah.
If
Hell
I
yeah.
had been him, I would have never shut up about it. I would have been in every interview forever being like, you know, I was
Did you
actually
know?
originally going to die in
Actually.
series 2, but they liked me so much that they kept me in.
But the weird thing is, this is the third time they've done that.
Yeah.
Because if this was the plan plan for Jack. He was going to die in the pilot, and then they went, no, we like you, we're keeping you. And Desmond was originally going to just be in those first 3 episodes and then leave. So Lost writers really just be saying, you're my favourite, like you can stay.
So good. It's so good, that scene. And it just, like, it's such a subversion of everything we've seen before.
And it's so, like, polite as well when he goes, let's take care of business, shall we?
Yeah.
Like, it's so transactional.
And I like the way he, like, takes Michael off.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, me and you need to settle a score. And all these other people, they don't matter.
It's really good. It's really good in terms of contrast.
So good.
So then Charlie wakes up from the explosion. Remember the explosion?
Charlie's alive.
About like 40 minutes ago, I think, at least, in terms of time on the island, right? Because it's 32... Is it 32 minutes?
I know that the alarm has started beeping at this point.
No, it starts during this scene, because I wrote that down because that's really cool. It's a trick was said when it flicked over to 32 from 33. So it's been about half an hour. Charlie's been passed out. He wakes up. He's deaf.
The sound effects are really cool.
They're really good. The soundscaping is really excellent in this scene because it's like this kind of like weird underwater, like, you know, muffledness. And you kind of go like, I know that by the end of the episode, he kind of has his hearing back, but it would have been really devastating for Charlie to have like lost his hearing because he's a musician.
I kind of think it would have been a really good choice to keep it.
Yeah.
And to have him have just lost his hearing.
Imagine if he could never hear himself play music again.
Because that is a really, and like, it's very like the island giveth and the island taketh away, you know? We have all these people who've been given these gifts by the island. And to have a character who actually becomes disabled by an event that happens on the island
would have been really interesting. Yeah.
And it's a similar thing to like way back when what I was saying about in like Do No Harm, where we were saying like if Boone had survived but they had to amputate his leg.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then he has to recover, like, they can't get a prosthetic because they're on an island. And, like, it would have been interesting to see that as a device. And obviously I understand why they couldn't do that in terms of, like, the plot. But also, like, you know.
It would have been hard.
Ian Somerhalder as an able-bodied actor, it would have been, like, difficult to make it happen. But really, like...
Yeah, that would have been really, really interesting.
I think it would have been really cool. And I really like the way the sparks are going along the walls as well.
Yes.
Because it's like, you remember, oh yeah, they just set off an explosion in like a scientific research facility full of electronic stuff and like technology and like the floodlights and everything have all just been blown up.
Not only was it an enclosed space, but there's also a bunch of dangerous equipment around.
Truly, how did they survive that?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, you know, in science class when they say don't drink any water, even your own water from your water bottle whilst you're in the science lab because it could be dangerous. It's like they heard that and then set out a full 5-course banquet.
Yeah.
He's going over and we get this kind of like weird sort of muffled, almost dreamy focus on Charlie walking through the hatch, and he finds Echo in all of this rubble, and it's as he is sort of like shaking Echo, being like, wake up, it's me, Charlie, is when the 1 minute
computer starts beeping.
when the beeping starts, not the 1 minute, but the
4
beeping.
minute. Yeah.
And you know, this whole season I've been talking about how much I love when the beeping comes in and underscores a scene. And I think this is the perfect final one for that. First of all, I wrote down smithereens. I think we often use the word blown to smithereens lightly, but the hatch really was blown to smithereens.
Smithereens.
Smithereens, mama. Smithereens. So we have manic Desmond, whomst I love.
And you got the audacity to be like, Desmond the airport is sexiest Desmond.
That's true.
Desmond going crazy over the button.
I didn't say it's sexy as Desmond. I said it's the sexiest line in the show. I think look-wise, he's in this
is the best look.
Open baggy white shirt, running around going, it's all real, it's all bloody real, now push that damn button. Yeah, obviously that's the sexiest moment.
Oh, I will.
Whatever you say.
Amazing. And now this might come as a shock to you, dear listeners. But
Controversial take.
Not a controversial take, but it might be a surprise to hear. So this moment in which John picks up the computer and throws it against the ground, and it might shock you to hear this from me, but this was the moment in the first watch through where I went off John.
I thought you were going to be like, it might surprise you to hear this. I really didn't like when he did that. That's what I thought you were going to say, which is why I teed it up with controversial take. But yeah.
This was, so like, I've talked a lot about my dislike for John on the podcast. And the thing is, it's not that I don't like him on the whole. I think he has some really amazing moments. I think he's a really interesting character. I think he's a great person to have in the show. But, and like, when Boone died, I was like, you're on thin ice. Mm-hmm. But we kind of built our way back up. All the stuff he does this series is really interesting. And it's this moment, for the rest of the show, could not forgive him for this. For the whole time. Because I was like, at least he feels bad about Boone's death. Mm. He never, like, I could not forgive him for it.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't believe his audacity.
It's like having that in mind, watching the show back, I notice more things that piss me off. And knowing that he's gonna do shit like that, I start going like, of course that's what you were gonna say, you dumb fucking horse, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, but this was the moment, and I know that I'm a bit of a loud John hater on this show, but this was the moment where I was like, oh, I don't like you.
I think same. I think, to me, the point where John's character turned was when he started to believe that the Pearl was real. So when he went into the Pearl and was like, I really liked his monologue when he says, every second of my pathetic little life is as useless as that button. But it's after then that he kind of just seems to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
And just be like...
He becomes a bit of a Kelvin. Like, he's more emotional than that. He's not, like, nonchalant, but it's the way he just... And it's this idea that it's like, well, I believe this now, so everyone has to believe this now.
So it must be true.
It must be true. Everybody stop pushing the button because I said so, because I don't believe it's real anymore. When Jack was saying, don't push the button because I don't believe it's real, you were going, you have to push it, Jack.
Yeah, what happened to that?
We have to do it together.
Yeah.
And, like, all it takes is this for you to completely forget about it, you know? And obviously I understand, but like...
But just, like, the way he completely ignores Desmond. And,
Desmond just explained that the system error crashed the plane.
Yeah, everything. You're not listening to me, brother. I crashed your plane.
And
he just completely is just like, I'm gonna choose to ignore that. And not only that, endanger everyone on this island and in the world.
Infuriates me. How many people died in that plane crash?
Yeah.
Hundreds. Mm-hmm. And that was caused by that system failure. You know that to be true. There is no way there was a system failure, coincidentally, on the same afternoon that your plane crashed, a big metal box in the sky that was not drawn towards the magnet. You know that that's true.
Yeah.
And you still smash the computer so that no one can do anything. Even Saeed can't fix that.
Yeah.
Even if Saeed magically returned from the boat and in 2 minutes was able to get into the hatch, he can't fix that.
I just can't believe he did that.
It
I just cannot believe he did that.
It boils my blood.
Yeah. It grates my cheese.
It just really grates my cheese. Grrr.
And obviously that's on purpose, right?
Right, yes. You're not supposed to agree with him.
No. But it's just... I feel like we could have had the same... You know what I mean? Like, just have a second. Just have a second to be like, maybe we should put the numbers in, actually.
And, like, it could have gone the same... Like, he could have just launched at Desmond. Like, they could have just started fighting.
Yeah.
You know? And it would have had the same impact. It's... And then it's just like, you've doomed us all.
And then he has the audacity to go, no, I've saved us all. Literally, don't piss me off.
Fuck you.
Literally, fuck you.
John, and I cannot emphasize this enough, fuck you.
So here we're at 3 minutes 10 on the timer. I wrote that down. Desmond immediately reverses the lockdown with the wires. And he runs out, and I really like this bit where he is throwing those books off the shelf. Yeah. His elbow is going wild. He is really going at it. And Charlie says, can you help me? Echo's here, literally dying.
Desmond.
And he goes, I'm trying, brother. Genius. Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
And this...
And then we get into... If you thought the last flashback was good...
I genuinely think, and I'm going to make a statement when I say this.
Make that statement.
Best flashback of the whole show.
Oh my god.
Because it is so... This, with the scene following, so powerful.
It is really powerful.
So powerful.
It
has had such an impact on me. This moment, it's like the fact that we have, and I actually mentioned it long time ago in Two for the Road, that there's the shot where Michael is looking down at the gun.
Yes.
Right before he kills Ana Lucia. And I said there's a similar shot later on, but I can't say because it's a spoiler. This is the moment I was thinking of. So when Desmond picks up that gun and he's looking down at it, I think that is intentionally framed to be very similar to that moment with
think
Michael.
you're probably right. I never picked up on that, but I think you're probably right.
It's like the lack of dialogue in the scene, in that beginning part of the scene, it works so well because it's just like, we know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And you can see immediately from the environment and from the way he looks that time has passed and that he's in a really bad position after killing Kelvin. And then he picks up the book.
And what falls out but a letter from fucking Penny?
A letter from Penny. And in the last episode...
Do you want me to sob?
In the last episode, when she's going like, did you read your Dickens book yet? And he's like, no. And she's like, I put a letter in there for you.
And he wrote her so many letters which she didn't get to read. Do you want me to actually curl up into a ball and cry?
I'm going to do something violent and drastic.
That bit is so beautiful and lovely.
It's insane.
It's so, oh my god.
And
God! Like, imagine someone, like, you know, loving you that much.
Loving you enough to know that at your worst moment, and you know exactly what he's going to do at his worst moment, and you know, and to put that in so that he hears or reads you say I love you in that horrible moment.
Especially thinking about where they left things in the like last time that they saw each other, which was like a really terrible scene where he didn't apologize for anything and that she was going to marry someone else and they're not going to be together, they're only going to be apart. And like, not only was he like, I'm going to be away from you for a year, but that was 4 years ago because he then got crashed on the island.
He's then gone missing.
And then to have
this, like, that Desmond is at this point where he's like, the world isn't out there anymore, nothing is out there anymore, and to remember there is somebody out there in the world who loves him so much.
Yeah. But then when he's crying, which, first of all, that shot of him crying...
Fantastic.
Is just so brilliant. But then he's, like, smashing up everything in the hatch and he's going, it's all gone. He's yelling out, it's all gone. So I think what is hitting him so hard in this moment is not only these beautiful words from Penny, but also the idea that she is no longer out there because nothing is out there.
Because he's trapped here forever.
Yeah.
And because as long as Kelvin is gone and he's on his own, there is no way he can leave because he knows that it's real. Or at least he's like, that system failure. That's it.
Yeah. He can't leave. He can't have anything nice in his life. All the good things have gone. All the love is gone. Every other human being is gone. But guess what?
And then to have...
Not every other human being is gone.
This banging on the hatch door.
And I also think he slouches down for a moment before he starts to hear John. And you have a wide shot of him in amongst all of this like mess he's created. And it really reminded me of the shot down of him in the boat. In last episode.
Yeah.
When he's there and holding the rifle and stuff. Anyway, yes, so then we hear the very lines that were like the big climactic finale of Do No Harm. Brilliant. Brilliant.
And it's that literal light in the darkness. And I think there is something so powerful as well about the fact that these are our philosophers.
Definitely.
That we have Locke versus Hume.
Yeah.
And that they are these big philosophical pictures, and that we have the idea that on the island you're a blank slate and you can do whatever you want with your life, versus this thing is real because I believe that it's real. Coming to a head. It's like an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. And nothing. And I think one of my favourite quotes in the whole show is in the scene after, "You saved my life so that I could save yours."
Yeah. Oh, it's just wonderful, isn't it? Because John goes like, that didn't have any meaning. You were probably just going through the bathroom. And it's like
that is
that
the
literally
moment that
saved his life.
That saved Desmond's life.
It literally saved his life.
And here is John, who believed in it all and believed it was all so important. And
it
then,
was! And
then he's
was!
gone, it was nothing, it was just you. And Desmond's going, that was one of the most important moments of his life.
Yes.
To have hope again.
Oh, and just think about how incredible that moment was when we first saw it in series 1, and how incredible it is to get the perspective from underneath of Desmond looking up at this bright light.
And that, like, for us in series 1, it was like, there's something down there.
Yeah.
And for Desmond, it's there's something up there.
Oh, yes!
It's just
brilliant!
So beautiful. And I think the fail-safe as this kind of metaphor for a way to escape death is a really fun thing, because it's this, like, key that is kind of dangled as, like, this is our way out. But is it? And I think that's the thing of, like, this, like, Desmond, in the same way, like, you know, Radzinski shot himself and Desmond could, and it's a way out, but is it?
Yeah.
Because will he be able to, you know, move on? Will he be able to find peace? And also, will it destroy the world?
Yeah.
And we have this fail-safe, which is like, this is our way out, but what's going to happen?
Yeah. And only now, knowing that John saved his life so he could save John's, does he have the conviction and the courage to not be a coward and to face it. Brilliant. As if that was 3 days as well, though. 3 days from that moment and the light to them blowing open the hatch and coming down there.
I know. That's crazy to look back at, like, Exodus and stuff and be like, that was only 3 days.
Yeah.
Poor Claire going through all that right after she'd just given birth.
Yeah. And also, think about everything that the front section, the tail section, everything that happened on the island, and underneath the ground that whole time, Desmond was just going through it.
Yeah. Like, when Boone drops that torch on the thing, and the lid of the hatch,
down there.
Desmond's down there. Listen to his records.
Oh my God. This show is so good. I love this show so much.
And as if you saved my life so that I could save yours isn't incredible enough. We have the longer speech, which I don't have it all written down, but I think it's all fantastic. Where he says, like, there's no such thing as fate.
You said, you say we don't have a purpose, there's no such thing as fate, but you saved my life that night, blah, blah, blah.
And then
I'm going to blow the dam, John. And he says, I'm
sorry for whatever happened that made you stop believing.
But it's all real.
And I think...
just iconic. It's just iconic. Like,
and isn't this as well such a lovely conclusion to the man of science, man of faith? Because what we have here is what made you stop believing, what made you stop having faith in the fact that the scientific explanation is the truth.
Absolutely.
And that actually believing it's real. And I think that's such a good thing as well, because so much of science is actually very superstitious and very much about, like, beliefs. And I hear all these stories all the time from, like, labs where it's like, oh, you have to, like, say hi to the machines, otherwise they stop working. And people who are like, I saw a post online recently on Instagram and it was someone saying, like, they're doing, like, research on bugs and they draw, like, stupid little worm cartoons on all the, like, slides. And then one week they were on holiday and they didn't. And then they got back, and the like supervisor was like, we need you to draw your worms again because all the cells died last week and we think it's because you didn't draw worms on them.
Wow.
And that like science, there's this idea of it is this like hardcore fact, but a lot of it is very superstitious. And also like science and philosophy kind of came from the same place.
Yeah, definitely.
In the early days. Like the Greek philosophers really were the first scientists.
Yeah.
Because they were saying stuff like, they were like inventing stuff, well not inventing, but they were like giving terms to stuff like the seasons, you know? And like the fact that the earth goes around the sun, like that was like philosophers who were saying those things.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great way to just intersect all of this stuff.
It's all just ways to understand the world, like religion, science, philosophy, spirituality, everything. It's all just ways that we try and understand what we're doing on this planet and what this planet is and who we are.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
And not to get too grandiose on a Lost podcast, but like
that's what Lost does to you as well,
is.
Because Lost does have those powerful moments where you're like, this is the point of it all, you know? And that you could meet someone for 5 minutes in the worst moment of your life, and you could help them to go in a completely different direction to where you are now, you know, and meet them again 5 years later in a different lifetime, and you can be so important to each other. And I think it's so powerful. And to have this be like the big build-up and the climax of this episode as like, to be this amazing moment, and obviously like, the hatch is such a cool set, and like it's so, the effects are really cool, but to have it all,
and they really said, let's smash it up on the last episode.
Let's just destroy it. And then they just have this amazing, like, to have this amazing emotional moment of just like, I'm sorry for what happened to you, but we need to save everyone. And like for John as well, like when has anyone ever apologized to John? You know?
Yeah.
And
also reaffirmed
amazing.
Like a belief
yeah
in something that is,
in something powerful and something important, and that John is important, and that he was meant to find the hatch, and he was meant to be there that night smacking his hand into it, because otherwise the world would have ended.
Boone was the sacrifice the island demanded.
Boone was the sacrifice the Desmond demanded.
Gag. Yes, and so to bring it back to what happens next in the show, we then have him jump down and say, see you in another life, brother. Of course he does. And we have something I really noticed this time around is I wrote down, and what did I write down? And now fucking darts and knives are flying towards them. Yeah. And it's like Echo and Charlie. Like, Echo's only just regained consciousness and now he's got metal shoved into his
Echo is trying to comprehend what's going on. I love when the timer crumples as well.
That's great. But the thing I really noticed this time around is the dumbbells rolling towards them and then the red exercise bike flying across. And I was like, that's a really good way to tie off the end of the season, because what were the first things we saw in the season?
The exercise
bike and the dumbbells.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's just so, to have literally everything just being hurled at that magnet.
It must have been such a fun day on set.
Oh my God.
For all the gaffers and all of the,
just attaching like string to everything and go, okay, pull, lob it, go, just throw it. We don't have to do this again tomorrow. Just smash stuff. And to have, so Charlie, Echo gets Charlie to the door.
He pushes Charlie to safety.
And then he says, I have to go. And he does say, like, John. Like, he says something John to him. He goes back for John.
Now, as much as we've had gag after gag after gag and loads of brilliant moments,
this one's not a gag.
I don't like this one. And I think it set up, like, the best moment of the episode. And I don't particularly like it. Just John going, I was wrong.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we all got that. Don't make this about you. That's what I felt like. I was like, stop making it about you, John, all right? But then we get the nice bit. Oh, I wrote down Echo's cross was flying behind him.
Yeah, pulling him back towards the magnet. So, confirmation here that Desmond is a Catholic. He crosses himself before he puts the key in the hole.
Yeah, and then we get the nice little bit of Penny going, all you need
is someone who really loves you.
And you have her, and the little tear wiping away. Literally, I've had their relationship for a day and a half, and if anything
but I
happened
would
to
do
them,
anything for
so
them.
much brackets, so much has happened to them. But I'm like so invested in their relationship.
So invested.
I'm like, they gotta get back together, okay? Ditch that new husband, alright? Get off the island.
It has to happen.
Reunions are now.
And for
I love you, Penny.
I love you, Penny.
And then the key
Key
turn.
And then the sky turns purple. And this is maybe an obscure reference, it might not be, I don't know. But you know, in the Discworld.
Yes.
So in the Discworld books, if you've not read them, they're like a fantasy series.
They're great, by the way.
They're really
I love
fun.
them.
There is an 8th colour.
Yes, the colour
of magic. And the first book is called The Colour of Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the like wizard district where they all study, the air is like thick with this 8th colour, which is what magic looks like. And it's described as a bit like purple. And that is kind of what I imagine that the colour of magic looks like when the sky lights up.
I never thought about that before, but I'm so on board. I'm so on board.
It feels very similar.
Flooded the island with octarine, yes.
With octarine, and the sky lights up.
And that bit is great, because you get so many, like, you just think about, like, everything the others are doing, and this kind of, like, awful stuff with our main characters. They did not consider that this ear-splitting noise was going to happen, and they can't cover their ears.
They had no idea, and also, like...
Their hands are tied behind their back, and you just see them all, like...
It's horrible. And that poor shot of Aaron crying in the crib.
But you can't hear him crying. You just have this, like, sort of weird, whirring,
it's like,
absent
you know that
noise.
meme that's like, who would win, crying baby atom bomb? Hydrogen bomb? Have you seen that
No! But it applies in this very specific scenario.
It's like, what's louder, crying baby, hydrogen bomb?
But I also really enjoyed Henry's diabolical stare. He was like,
my God.
This is not the time. Okay,
was
I'm
like,
trying to have my moment here.
What? This was not part of the piece. Like, Tom, what's going on?
Stop this at once. Put your beard back on and stop this.
So, and I love that it, like, incapacitates the others as well. It's like everyone. And then we get them we get Saeed and Jin and Sun on the boat.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the camp, and of all people, Bernard is there.
He wasn't there when it was Annalisa and Libby's funeral, his best friends, but he's there.
Truly such a bizarre choice.
So bizarre. So bizarre.
Could have been anyone else.
Well, he couldn't really, because, like, I suppose Rose is not there, though, which is a bit weird. But Bernard and Claire are kind of the only main characters left back at the beach.
Who else is there who's still on the beach that's not just the extras? That's crazy there's not that many characters left. They've all split up.
Yeah.
But it should have been Rose and Bernard. The fact that it was just Bernard was really...
It was really rogue. It was very rogue.
And also the fact that we haven't seen them for so long. But it is very sweet, like, he kind of tries to help Claire, like, cover Aaron's ears.
And then the quarantine door falling. Gag.
It flying over, nearly clonking Claire in the head.
Yep.
Bonk.
Into the sand.
And they're like, oh, okay. Hatch explosion.
Hatch explosion boots. Hatch explosion boots.
Houston, I'm deceased. And then we're back on the dock.
And then they're just like, well, let's carry on anyway. We don't know what that was, but let's just keep going.
Henry's desperately trying to regain control over the situation. He's like, I don't know what that was, but, like, I'm still in charge here.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not happy about the arrangement that was made, but we got more than we bargained for when Walt joined us. Let's review. What?
So it seems like he is in charge of Miss Clue then, because Miss Clue became the de facto leader when he wasn't there and made this arrangement, which he is then not happy with. But I suppose from her perspective, she's like, look, we needed you back. All right, I can't be in charge all the time. She's number one, and Henry is the captain. You know, we were talking about the Star Trek analogy.
Star Trek.
And she's like, number one can't run the ship, okay? As much as I would love to, and, you know, she would be great.
I'd be great at it. But also, I find it interesting that Henry says he's not happy with the arrangement that was made. Does that mean that he wanted to stay in the hatch longer?
I read it more as, I'm not happy about the fact that you and Walt get to go home.
I mean, I think it's probably more likely that. But I think
it could be
interesting in that vein that we were going down of like, was he actually there for John?
Was he there for
Was
Jack
he there
Curley?
for the four on the list? What was the situation?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point to raise, for sure. And then they got more than they bargained for when Walt joined us.
So it appears that they just wanted Walt because they want kids.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh shit,
he's got psychic powers. They were like, we just won the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've managed to get some kind of something good out of having him.
Yeah.
Enough that it's okay to give him back.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
In the room, do they like harness his psychic energy somehow?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm picturing like a Carrie situation, like shit flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Stabbing stuff into Miss Clue, but she's just glancing off her because she's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's just like they clearly were studying him in some respect because they're making him
take tests and they're asking these questions about him appearing in places he's not supposed to be.
Even though it seems like they are not part of the Dharma Initiative, although as we've established, Kelvin saying to Desmond they're the hostiles, it doesn't necessarily mean they're separate from the because Kelvin could have been lying about all kinds of stuff. But like, they're still doing some kind of science. They're still doing some kind of research.
And I also think, like, the thing about Walt and them saying they got more than they bargained for, and that, like, Walt being like, they make me take tests. I am really interested in whether Walt knows he has psychic powers. Because it appears, like, in Special, he's not doing any of it on purpose.
No.
And it appears that he's just completely unaware that he's even doing it. But is he consciously projecting himself to Shannon and Saeed at the beginning of the series? Or were they just doing experiments on him? Were they just pouring water over him and he just happened to appear back at camp?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really interested to know, and because we don't get a Walt episode where we get him in the room.
How desperately we need a Walt episode.
We don't know how much he knows about his capacity to do these things and his special skills.
Definitely. It's like he must be aware of it on some level, because think about when he touches John's arm and he's like, don't open it.
Yeah,
like
when he says,
he must have seen something.
We don't have to go. Yes, we do.
Yeah. He must be aware of knowing something that other people don't know. But how much of that is, it's a very interesting question.
It's a really interesting thing because he's not, like, he didn't kill that bird on purpose, like in Special. And
his mum,
question mark. But I think it's interesting, and there is, like, I think I probably brought this up in Special, but there is another, like, classic Lostpedia theory, which I think is just a bit like a negative Nancy kind of theory, but, like, I guess, like, I'm okay with it, is that, people being like, oh, there's no way Vincent could have survived the crash. He did because Walt protected him with his psychic powers.
It's like, yeah, I'm happy to say that, but
and
also
like,
there's no way any of them would have survived the crash.
Okay, but also they all would have died. Like, keep up.
Yeah. There are certain leaps we have to make in order for the show to happen.
Suspend your disbelief,
Suspend your disbelief, yeah. But also I'm happy to say that Walt protected him.
But also, like, he would. And I do think it's so sweet that in 3 minutes he's like, how's Vincent? Vincent's okay, he misses you.
But Vincent doesn't get to leave with them.
No!
He's stuck on the damn island.
They should have brought Vincent.
Yes!
Michael's like, we need him for tracking.
I want a boat. And Walt. And Alex. And Vincent.
And I bring my dog.
She's like, I don't give a fuck what happens to the dog. Okay?
We don't need the dog.
Anyway. Back to Henry. He says, you lived up to your words. We live up to our word too. Follow a compass bearing of 325 and you'll make it out. As if it's that simple, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Desmond was just on the wrong compass bearing. But also it's this thing of like the electromagnetic energy of the island messes with compasses. But also, does it anymore?
Because we've just had hatch explosion. Yeah.
So maybe it's a trick. Maybe it's like, oh, they'll sail away and then they'll get brought back and then, like, no harm, no foul.
But they actually do sail away.
They do escape.
Because of hatch explosion that Henry didn't account for.
None the wiser. Could be.
Could be. Or the other implication is the others have a way off the island. They have a way to get out and they're just
gatekeeping it.
Yeah. Which is exciting, because
Just
then it's
crazy.
like the others can get out into the real world. That's very scary.
Yeah, they could just be among us. Imposters. And,
But he's also like, you won't be able to find your way back to the island.
So, what Michael says,
So you can get
what
off,
if
but you
I
can't
tell
get back.
everyone what happened to us? And Henry says, you can, but once you leave, you'll never be able to come back.
So is that more of a like, you're not welcome, you'll be shot on sight? Or
I
like,
wasn't sure if it was more like you won't be able to bring yourself to return.
could be
If
that.
it's like, I can't go back there even if I want to try and save my friends.
Or is it like you physically can't get back? So like there's the idea of the snow globe, right? And you just keep circling around and around in this snow globe.
But once you get through the glass,
you then
you
can't
can't
ever
get
find it again. Interesting.
it is interesting.
So there's a way out, but it's one way. Which then would suggest the others can't get off the island. They
they
know
can't
how
come back
to,
again.
but they don't want to, because they like the island.
This is not your island. This is our island. And
Really funny when you think about Henry in the Hatch being like, him, he's nothing. It's like, I'm his boss.
him? Are you not gonna tell me to him?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, actually.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to send me his overtime reports, so do that.
Yeah, I'll put him in the room. But also we have this idea.
I like that maybe you will, maybe you won't. And he does a little head wiggle when he delivers that line. Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
But you have to tell them what you did to get it. I like the little face he does when he says what you did. I know what you did. And it's like, killed 2 people.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, did they want him to kill those people?
They didn't tell him to. They
didn't-
said make up a lie.
Yeah. They did not tell him to, but was the implication there? Was the implication
They
there?
said that he had to free Henry. And if there was no other way to do that,
Also, don't forget that Henry tried to kill Anna Lucia, so like,
he did.
clearly they don't care about her being alive.
Like, if Michael had just gone in and, like, taken the gun off Anna Lucia and then just, like, opened the, like, armory and just gone, go, and Anna Lucia tried to stop him, Henry could have just killed her.
Yeah, and probably would have.
Probably would have. And then we have one of the most iconic lines in, like, the whole show. Who are you people?
I love this exchange.
We're the good guys, Michael.
Excellent! Excellent! Excellent, 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 excellent. I mean, you forgot to mention, I was promised you wouldn't hurt my friends. Deal's a deal. So that's interesting, because it's
That is
like,
interesting.
they're not going to get hurt.
But what's going to happen to them?
And also, Michael negotiated some kind of terms. So, you know, that's nice.
That's nice. I like to think maybe he mentioned that in front of them.
You said they wouldn't get hurt.
You said you wouldn't hurt anyone.
I
they would
asked
be
for that
okay.
specifically, that you wouldn't hurt
I
them.
negotiated that you wouldn't hurt them.
But yeah.
But also it is like he does still care about them, you know?
Of course he
think
does.
It's another thing like earlier on when they get like tasered and he's like, I'm sorry there was no other way. Like he is still so apologetic about it.
It is genuine, it's genuine. But yeah, who are you people? We're the good,
We're the
guys,
good guys,
Michael. I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up.
We're being fed tonight.
Absolutely. Family-sized portion, and I'm gobbling every
And when he's
morsel.
like, okay, go ahead, get in the boat. Get in the pond, since you want to act like a silly goose.
Yeah.
Get in the boat. You think I'm stupid? Where's my son? I really thought Walt was not going to be in that boat.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I was like, no, come on, after all that, come on.
I was like, he's gonna get in there and they're just gonna push him out to sea and be like, and fuck you.
Walt's gonna be there like...
But he's in there.
They get
and they're
the
back
reunion.
together. And he's
So
like,
sweet.
you're okay, we're gonna go home. And so, what do you mean Hurley goes free?
Yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy to me. I'm like,
The
you
fact-
went through all of this.
But the fact that Michael had to take extra steps to get Hurley to come
Yeah.
with them, he could have just brought anyone.
All that really horrible manipulation about, like, Libby dying and being like, they killed her,
We
when
have
it was
to
really
avenge her.
him who killed her.
And then it's like, you can go.
Yeah.
Go
I couldn't
tell people.
believe that.
Go from this place and speak of what you have seen.
I was
What?
fuming. I was fuming.
Furious! What do you mean they didn't need him?
I would have rather Hurley stayed captured, quite frankly, because then it's like, you know, at least there was a reason for it all.
Yeah.
They just let him go home.
And it's like, because someone has to tell the camp what happened.
Bullshit.
Why did they need Hurley so bad then?
Bullshit. Is it because they knew Hurley would do it? Because, like, anyone else would be like, no, I'm staying and I'm fighting all of you. Whereas Hurley would just go back.
Could have brought
and
Charlie.
tell people.
Charlie would have come easily and he wouldn't have tried to fight anyone.
That's true.
Me tied to the stick, being like Miss Clip, being like, why do I need... Can I bring Charlie instead?
Charlie's just gonna be easier to get hold of.
Trust me, like, you're not... It's like he will jump at any... And they're like, we know he shot Ethan. It's like, he won't do that again, don't worry.
Trust.
He's fine.
As long as Claire's okay.
He's chill now. Claire's fine. He's chilling now.
But I think the reason that Hurley is there truly is A, so that we have a parallel to the end of series 1, with Hurley being included in the trek for once.
Yeah.
And B, because of his curse.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Everything bad is happening to the people around him, but not him.
But he gets to go free, and he's going to be okay.
So much guilt on that dog.
He's just going to be able to find his way back to camp fine, and he's going to feel okay.
Yeah.
Awful. And then we have what I've dubbed, Jack, Kate, eye contact moment, and me, Sawyer, I'm here too.
I dubbed it visual representation of the love triangle brackets Sawyer mogging.
Sawyer in the cock gag. That produces a really filthy image. But it's like Jack and Kate look at each other.
Yeah.
And they have this sustained eye contact of like, what are we gonna do? And it's trying to communicate like, we're in this together, we're gonna be okay.
And Sawyer's just smouldering.
Like, and no one to look at me.
He's like looking around like, can I... You know that bit in Shrek where they all shout each other's names
Donkey.
And then Shrek just goes, donkey! And the donkey just goes, donkey. That's Sawyer. He's like,
Sawyer.
I've got no one to look at. I'm just gonna...
No eye contact for Sawyer.
Just gonna generally sort of look.
And even like after Jack gets the hood pulled over his face, Kate doesn't even turn to Sawyer for a moment. No. Who's winning this love triangle? Like, hilarious.
For sure.
And like, that's it. That's not it, but that's all we see of those guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, I think the reason that all of that happens after the hatch explosion is because it's like, here's the end of series 2, here's the setup for series 3, right?
Yeah, I think so. And also I think if the hatch explosion had happened after Michael and Mort had taken off in the boat, that could have caused some issues. Because, like, it could have, like, people would have been like, how did the boat just survive, like, a huge explosion? It would have capsized or something.
Maybe. But then that could have been ambiguity if we didn't see Michael and Walt in the boat. What happened to them?
And
that
they
could have been
wash
cool.
up on shore.
That could have been cool.
So this little beach scene, very unnecessary. But it's cute. I wrote down that I felt like Claire just, like, took off Charlie's glasses to see his pretty face.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first Claire and Charlie kiss.
This is crazy.
Can you believe that, gang?
That they've gone through all of this. Craziest situationship of all time.
Oh my god.
I delivered your baby and we haven't even kissed yet. Like...
And then I tried to forcibly baptise him.
And then you didn't talk to me for like a week. And then some of our friends died and then you realised that you wanted to forgive me. And then I just got exploded.
Yeah.
And I've lost all my hearing. And then we kiss.
So, it's cute. It is cute.
I do feel like it comes out of nowhere a little bit.
It does a little bit. But I'm kind of back on board. I'm tentatively back on board with Claire and Charlie.
Listen, I'm not mad about it. I think it's cute. I think it's a really sweet thing. But also to, like, have somebody end the season on a high note, you know?
Yeah.
That it's like, here, through all of this horrible mess, you know, Michael and Mort are back together, and Claire and Charlie get their little kiss. And it's like, there is still nice stuff happening.
Yeah. And then guess what, bitch? More
Y'all
nice
wanted a twist,
stuff.
eh?
Face crack of the millennium.
What the fuck is happening, guys?
The ending is huge.
And this is another, like, confession of, like, having watched all 6 seasons through twice, I still don't really understand this. So we're in, like, the Arctic?
Yeah.
I don't know what language they're speaking.
No, it sounded vaguely like Spanish to me, so
It
I'm not
sounded
sure.
quite Spanish.
Regardless, we're in some kind of snowy landscape, right? Outpost vibes.
And we have two men playing chess.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. Electromagnetic
I
anomaly
thought we were done with computers and beeping. Okay.
detected.
7418880 electromagnetic anomaly detected. Lots of numbers in there.
Lots of numbers in there.
And a red light blinking on top of the computer as well. I just feel like it's very reminiscent.
It's really good. It's really good. And I think the dialogue between those two is so great in this scene because we have we missed it again. And I'm assuming
it again.
The one before
the plane crash.
The plane crash.
It's gotta be, right?
We missed it again. And then we have it's not a false alarm this time.
So what does that mean? The plane crash was a false alarm? I guess the electromagnetic anomaly was much
Resolved.
bigger this time.
Yeah. And then we have the phone call. And real ones know the significance of like the phone call.
Yeah, 100%.
The
framed photo, the fact that she has a framed photo of Desmond on her bedside table, I'm like, well, you're clearly not married then, are you?
She must have not married this guy because there's no way.
He would stand for that, surely. Surely not.
There's no way.
This is just my ex-boyfriend, don't worry about it.
And it's like
But it's really sweet that photo has that same love and memory attached to it that
for her
as it does for him.
It's
Very
really
gorgeous.
beautiful, and I think switching on the light and we see it illuminated.
Yeah.
Phone ringing, hand comes in. Hello, Miss Widmore? I think we found it. Pan to her. She's gagged.
She's gagged. She's gagged. She's serving. She's really good.
She's great. She looks fantastic for having just woken up.
Yeah, she definitely didn't just wake up.
Oh, I just woke up like this with my hair all beautiful and my makeup done.
But yeah, huge news.
Huge.
Penny's out there and she's looking for Desmond, which means she is looking for the island.
And she has found it.
She's found it. She's found it. She's going to show up tomorrow.
Which
Chopper.
means season 3, rescue is on the way.
Rescue's on the way. Huge. Literally, what are you talking about?
I cannot imagine.
Oh my god.
I was about to say if I'd been alive in 2005. I was alive in 2005. Like, if I'd been there in 2005 to watch that, and then you gotta wait like 9 months for series 3.
I would be fuming. I would be fuming.
I know the forums were going crazy.
You guys are not gonna have to wait that long, don't worry.
No, we'll be back again in September. But oh my lord.
So good. And I feel like I can say as well, this is a little fun fact, because it now seems like Penny's going to be a bit of a bigger character in the show, I feel like I can say a fun fact for you is that actor actually originally auditioned to play Kate.
She did, yes. Yeah, and actually, Penny was originally going to be played by a different woman.
And they photoshopped the photo, didn't they?
So the picture, so you might notice the photo looks a little bit awkward. So when they first filmed the scenes with Desmond where he has the picture, it was a different woman, like in the photo.
Yeah.
Because Penny was going to be like totally irrelevant. Because Desmond wasn't going to come back and it wasn't going to be nearly as important as it was.
Yeah.
And so it was just supposed to be like, here's a glimpse into Desmond's life that he had this girlfriend. And then when they were actually casting the role of Penny, they decided to instead cast Sonia Wolga, I want to say.
Definitely Sonia.
Sonia
Don't remember
something.
what her surname is.
Who they obviously knew because she'd auditioned for Kate.
Yeah.
And obviously she's British, they were probably like, oh, it works out very well.
Mm-hmm.
And they photoshopped her into that picture, which I think is really fun because the picture is such an iconic image.
Yes, but you don't notice, like, I didn't notice
You totally can't tell. You totally can't tell. And like, even knowing, like, I've looked at like the like good quality versions of the image that are like online and stuff, you really can't tell. It's very
really
good
good.
Photoshop.
It looks really good. And I actually think she would have made a great Kate.
She would have been really interesting as Kate.
Because, like, I know Sun originally auditioned for Kate. I think she would have made a good Kate too. But I can really see this actor playing Kate. She would have taken it in a really different direction, which I think could have been really cool.
And I also think how fantastic would it have been if we could have had her as a character? Because obviously, like, when they auditioned Yoon Jin Kim, it was like they hadn't written Jin and Sun yet.
No.
and they were auditioning these people for the main characters and then kind of writing them in with other characters. So if we then had, like, a British woman, and then it had been Desmond's gut, can you imagine if she was still playing Penny, but Penny was in the plane crash?
Wow.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. But this is great.
But this is amazing. And I love her.
Genius.
And I really love that she got to come back and be part of the show because she is fantastic. And Penny is such an amazing character.
Yeah.
Like, to get a character like Penny to play, because it's like, it's so cool that she's part of this huge plot, but like, she's only in these flashback moments. She's in like 4 scenes.
Yeah.
But she's immediately made such a huge impact on the story.
Yeah.
It's like a bombshell in the middle of the island and she's not even there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge. I love her.
I love Desmond.
I love Desmond.
He's come back with a vengeance. He's come back with a bang, shall we say.
Literally.
Is he even alive, though? We don't know.
Well, yeah, has he gone out with a bang? Where's Echo? Where's John?
Because imagine if they're like, we found it, and she's like, oh my god, and then she turns up and then Desmond's died.
Devastating.
Awful.
But, unfortunately, you won't find out the answer to any of those questions for quite some time.
Yes. So, obviously, there's going to be a bit of a break between season 2 and season 3 for us, but before we get into that, you know it's coming, the long-anticipated recap and ranking episode next week.
Oh, gang, it's going to be a tough one. I'm genuinely dreading this. Because, like, I do not know how I haven't done my ranking yet. I know you've done a little bit.
I've kind of done a first draft, shall we say.
I have no idea how I'm going to possibly rank this season. Because it is all so good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we will be with you struggling through that next week.
We will.
But we did it, gang.
Closing thoughts on the episode?
I fucking love it.
Yeah. One of the best of all time. Just so good.
I love it. I think in my memory was that more of the plot happened in this episode than in the part 1. I remembered it being like...
But this episode doesn't feel sparse.
No, not at all. They just packed so much in. And I think actually if they'd done it the way I remembered it, because the way I remembered it was like, first episode was Desmond's life off island, and then second episode was just hatchbacks. And that it was like, they didn't really set off for the plan, like until right at the end. But I think this works so much better. I think if that had happened, part 1 would have felt very anticlimactic.
Yeah, and like something like the foot thing, you couldn't throw that into this episode.
I forgot about the foot
You couldn't
thing.
throw the foot into this episode because it just wouldn't...
It's just too
It'd be
much.
like, do you know what? I don't fucking have time for this. Like...
I love the idea that Jin and Sun and like Saeed, they were just hanging out.
Yeah. Saeed had his moment of discovering the camp was empty and the Dharmadors were fake, and then it was just like...
And it's like, obviously only half an hour has passed between now and then.
Yeah.
But also, like...
They are just chilling.
It is insane that they just went back to the boat and they're probably just like, well, what do we do?
I mean, they've lit the fire, right?
Do
So
we
they're
just wait here and see if they arrive? I guess that's the plan, right? They wait and see if they do come bring them back to the camp.
As far as they are aware, the plan's going ahead.
might.
Apart from the big purple light in the sky, they're like, everything's going to plan.
It's going great. It's their first indication that something's wrong. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting to see that unfold as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But also, just a little thing, as you're recording this, I got a little notification from my, Google Photos. 1 year ago today, we were recording, our last Halloween special.
Were we?
It was pictures of me in the zombie lady costume.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at that.
Let us know what your favourite episode is of this series.
Definitely.
Help me out with the ranking,
Yes.
guys. Let me know.
Obviously, drop your rankings. Obviously, let us know how much you loved this finale. Did you love it or did you love it? There's no other option. Because
First crack at the century.
it's just so good. So
Crazy.
please, let us know. Follow us on all the things. You know that by
You
now.
know that, but we don't need to do that bit.
Get ready for the 4-hour epic next week, and I'm not joking.
Don't
it's
even
gonna
know
be
how we're gonna get through
so
it.
long. But it's gonna be so fun. Alright, see you then.
See you then.